Out with the old and in with the new. Kabelo Gwamanda has been sworn in as Johannesburg mayor. Gwamanda overwhelmed the competition, garnering well over 50% of the votes. eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones was on the ground following developments for us today in the city of Johannesburg. Let's talk to him now live in studio. So Pule, following his election as mayor, what did Kabelo Gwamanda have to say?
Yeah, I mean, it was likely to happen. I mean, Action SA didn't go into the council with numbers on their side. The DA as well, they were not seeing eye to eye. And therefore, Al-Jama'ah had the backing of the EFF and the ANC and other minority parties from the benches as well. And therefore, that's how we saw Mr. Gwamanda being elected. But he says that he's going to prioritize service delivery fully. In fact, he elected the mayoral committee today, which means that they are heading the task of ensuring that the priorities and the obligations of the city are fulfilled. And he believes that they have to hit the ground running. But he's also coming from a party which previously had one of its mayors, or rather personnels, Mr. Kabelo Gwamanda, receiving a lot of public backlash as well. I can tell you now, even on social media platforms, a lot of people are expected to see what the new mayor from Al-Jama'ah will be delivering, because many believe that he may just be used once again by the ANC and the EFF, which is something the ANC has been denying. But let's just take a listen to what he had to say earlier on when he read his acceptance speech.
Service delivery is an institutional competency of local government. And ours as the government of local unity is to respect you enough to commit towards an improvement of the quality of services that are delivered to all 6 million of you. My priority for this government is to ensure that this is indeed carried out with the heightened improvement in quality of service delivered across all departments and entities. We will fulfill, together with the African National Congress, Economic Freedom Fighters, the Patriotic Alliance, the minority governing parties, which include the African Independent Congress, the African Hard Congress, the African People's Convention, African Transformation Movement, Congress of the People, the Good Party, the Pan-African Congress, and the United Democratic Movement. Speaker of Council, our interest is for the city to succeed, and we are prepared to work with all political parties represented in Council to ensure that all diverse citizens in the city of Johannesburg are serviced.
Pule, we know that timing in this election was absolutely crucial. Give us some context to that.
Yeah, timing was crucial, particularly because the city now has to present and have their draft budgets debated by community members in the city of Johannesburg. This could mean if you're in a community, you have the previous right to dispute whatever the amount of the budget will be used to. If you think it's not going to be used for the correct issue of service delivery, you have a right to communicate that to the mayor and, of course, the mayoral committee. But had the mayor not been elected today, this would have delayed that process, because I stand to believe that the deadline would be end of May for June. And that's according to COCTA. They say if the mayor was not elected today, it could have put the city in a very compromising position. And therefore, if you don't present these budgets to communities, what may happen thereof is that the current administration in the city may be dissolved, meaning the city may be placed under administration. And me and you know how is that like when the city is placed under administration. But hopefully that won't happen now that the mayor has also elected his new mayoral committee, proving to show that he wants to get everything up to speed and ensure that services are prioritized in the province's economic hub. Let's just take a listen to what the COCTA MEC had to say earlier on.
Well, if the actual budget is not being adopted, there is no negotiations. the law demands that we should dissolve that particular municipality. And that's the warning we want to send to the councillors of the city itself, that don't put us to that situation, because I said, and I will continue to say, that our work is to support municipalities, and part of our support is to make sure that municipalities succeed in their work rather than focusing on issues of dissolutions. We don't want to go there.
Pule, we know that the Patriotic Alliance were very much kingmakers in this mayoral election. Neither the ANC-EFF coalition or the DA Action SA coalition could have elected a mayor without the 8 votes of the Patriotic Alliance. What did they have to say after the election of Mayor Gwamanda?
Well, they didn't have much to say, but we understand that just according to the DA, yesterday the Patriotic Alliance were in a caucus, not a caucus meeting, but in a coalition meeting for about 6 hours with other parties, including Action SA and the DA. And it seems as though towards the end of the meeting, the PA had suggested that Kabelo Gwamanda be the mayor of the city and that they get 2 MMC posts. And the DA did not take that for something that they would now try to implement, and therefore the meeting collapsed because they couldn't see eye to eye. So the PA then went back to the ANC and the EFF, sort of like, trying to see where they could get that opportunity to sneak in, and how desperate it was.
To keep the ANC
because they were first with the ANC and the EFF, then went back to the DA to try to see if they could get a better offer, and they didn't get a better offer. Then they went back to the ANC and the EFF. But what I know is that they did get a post, part of the mayoral committee, in the form of MMC for transport, retaining the position being Kabelo Gwamanda. But we'll see how things unfold, because we're now getting word on the ground that today's decision by the DA not to work with Action SA may impact the wave of coalitions in the city of Tshwane, where we know that that's been attacked and rigid coalition, and we may be seeing the Action SA considering again if they want to be part of the coalition or not. And if they pull out of the coalition, it means that the DA may be in trouble in the capital city.
Lots still to happen in the coming months as we see coalition governments trying to get service delivery going. Hopefully, residents of the city of Johannesburg can now once again put their hopes on actually receiving services that have been sort of lagging while these elections have been taking place. Thank you very much for that update. That was Pule Letshwiti-Jones bringing us that update.